Hey, my name's Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. Today, going to be doing something a little bit different. I have a fantastic sample here from a person I consider a dear friend who was once upon a time also my boss, but he's been a great mentor at work. He's been a great mentor for me in the bourbon community, and I'm sure my wife kind of shakes her head about that because he's one of the people that helped kind of get me started into this. I'll just Jim K's what I'll just go by on him. We had lunch with him this week with another colleague, and we were talking about things, and in typical Jim fashion, he's like, "Hey, I got something for you." So he pulled out a couple of samples. One of them was this 20-year-old Barterhouse. It's the first Orphan Barrel. It was at the old Stitzelweller warehouse. And the story behind it is that these are some of the lost barrels, and this had been sitting in there in this warehouse when I think they were purchased by Diego back in the day. And they said, okay, let's do something with these barrels. So they went through and they started sampling them to figure out which of these are we going to start releasing, which ones need a little more time, and so this was, I believe, the first release on this, and it comes in at 90.2 proof, which always leaves me a little bit, skeptical on proof, but it's a 20-year-old, and I'm thinking, this ought to be pretty good. So little background on Jim. Um, he'd worked with the company that I'm at a couple of times. The first time he was there, and I was a bit younger, I didn't truly understand the value that he brought, and it's probably part of me being younger and not maybe understanding his role and his level at the time. But when he came back the second time, I was a bit more mature, and I was in a different role, and we worked a lot more closely. And I truly appreciated what he had to offer, the mentorship that he gave, the lessons that he has been teaching me still about not only work and bourbon but life. Excellent mentor, excellent friend, and so it was a nice surprise when he got this from me and said, "Hey, this is something I want you to try because it's very limited." I think it came out 2014. And if you look at secondary on it, it's pretty expensive, and there's only a finite amount of these out there. So I thought this would be a great experience. Before I get into this too, I've mentioned to a couple of people, but if you guys have ever heard in the background, you've heard kind of like a tip tapping going around. That would be our poodle Gabe. Gabe passed away this week. He was nearly 15 years old. He was a standard poodle, big poodle, 75-pound poodle. But he had passed away this week, and this was my wife's father's dog that we inherited when he passed. So we definitely had a couple of hard days. We missed Gabe, but was an outstanding dog, and I thought, what a great way to kind of think about Gabe and sip on a nice 20-year bourbon today, and spend some time later today with some family. So definitely looking for that. So let's get into the bourbon today, and let's see what we have here. This has got a really sweet nose on this. I get a lot of cherry cordial. I'm getting a lot of vanilla on this. Orange peel, and certainly oak. 20 years, you're going to get some oak on that. It smells outstandingly sweet, and those that know me about bourbon is I like sweet bourbons. I'm a higher proof type of person, but I'm interested to see what this is like, and it's got some nice viscosity on it. So you see plenty of oil in it. Super easy mouthfeel. You figure for a 90 proof, you're not going to get a whole lot of spice. I want to say this is like 86% corn, 8% malted barley, 6% rye. So it's not really rye heavy, so not a lot of pepper, but get a lot of that tobacco. You get kind of of course, oak, and you're getting some of the leather on the back. But up front, I'm getting a lot of cherry and vanilla on this. And what's funny about this, as you're sipping it, if you're taking a smell of this and nosing it at the same time, it does smell a lot sweeter than it tastes. But still, for something that's 90 proof, and with the oak that you're going to get out of a 20-year, I get a lot of the sweetness up front, which is a nice surprise. I'm absolutely pleased with this, Jim. I can't thank you enough for this. This was a nice way to kind of finish out a rough week. So Saturday, we're going to go head to the lake with some family today. Looking forward to spending time with them, with my wife's sister and her husband, who I'm also bringing a bottle of Stag 16 to. So we will have a sample of that, I'm sure, tonight as well. So looking forward to some time with some family. The Orphan Barrel, I absolutely like. See, I like oak. Some people are really kind of oak opposed. They want just very light oak. Some people are like, oh, you're licking a tree. I don't mind it. I like that kind of dry and the kind of the little bit of the bitterness at the back, the sweet up front, and a little bit of the dry at the back. I like it. This has actually got about a medium finish. It could be, if it was higher proof, would you get a longer finish on this? Yes, but you may get a lot more of the oak and things like that, which kind of draw people off sometimes. I think this is a great pour for me. Um, I am so pleased that I was able to get this. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. Thank you for all you do, and have a great day.